What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our latest project with Father Son Rebuilds. My name is Jaime Sr. Behind the camera, master editor is Jaime Jr. And this is our latest project. This is our 1979 BMW 633 CSI E24 internal chassis code, or AKA the shark nose or the land shark. I mean, this car is just dope. So I wanted to do something that was different, nothing that was an E30. Everybody's doing an E30. Everybody, their grandma and their baby's mom was doing an E30. It was just, I just didn't want to do it. So this was the first chassis for the 6 Series back in the late 70s. So it was super cool. So why don't we just take a look at it? Why don't we just walk around it? This is a 3.2 inline six-cylinder with a 4-speed manual. It's not even a dog leg, and it's not even a 5-speed. It is a 4-speed, but it's actually very, very clean. We'll get into the specifics of how I obtained it and acquired it later on, but this is it. This is it. And yeah, like I was saying, it was just something that I wanted to do that was just not a new 30. Something that was just different and just cool. And you can't go wrong with a big tour car, a big GT car. I mean, this car was, if you were an executive back in the day, you know, this is what you ended up with. So here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the trunk. This is a 6-cylinder, like I said. This is the M30 B32, I believe. It's a little under 180 horsepower. The 635s came with the M30 B34 and 35. Those are the higher compressions, over 200 horsepower. So let's do this. Okay. So this is, like I said, this is the M30 B32, I believe. Once again, I'm not sure. I haven't really had a chance to dig into this thing. Right now, it's wintertime here in Southern California, and I use that term loosely because there is no winter in California. But ironically, the weekend that I got this vehicle, it was pouring rain. It was just pouring, and I drove it from Fullerton, Anaheim area all the way to the San Fernando Valley. Man, it was an adventure. It was my first time driving it all the way that long. It was pouring rain. It was crazy. What an adventure, but it was, it was fun. But once again, I haven't really dug into it. I haven't really been able to actually kind of go through it with a fine-tooth comb. Only today that we have sunlight or sun. So this is the M30 B30. I'm gonna say B33 or B32. It's like 190 horsepower. The B34 and 35s had a little over 200, I think 215 or 210. But it runs smooth, but there's a lot of miscellaneous items that we want to attend to. But most importantly, this is a US spec model. US, back in those days, or even to these days, they have the 5-mile-per-hour bumper regulations in Southern California. So as you can see, they have these big, ugly, protruding bumpers with the shock absorber and the trim piece for front and rear. The rear ones aren't that bad. I mean, they're still like decent. They come out a lot. The European model or the European bumpers, that's what I really want to do. But they're super expensive, and I mean almost impossible to obtain because everybody has them. Everybody's hoarding parts too. So this is what I'm thinking. Or maybe you guys will get your input as well. We really don't know. I kind of know what direction I'm going in with the vehicle, but what I'm thinking is, at least with the bumpers, we're going to go ahead and shrink and reduce and limit how much these things are protruding up to the rubber line. So this matches and it blends in. Same thing with the front. And I think this will be a little simpler because we have the struts and we can just cut the shaft. And we're going to go ahead and bring this in 2 inches. And we'll meet this trim panel with this bumper rubber line. And then I've seen people do it. I thought I was going to be the first one doing it, but I've already seen people do it, which is smart. Those Euro bumpers is just crazy money, man. And people are just hoarding that kind of crap. And once again, I mean, the 6 Series BMW is already rare in itself. That's why I saw this thing. I saw an opportunity to buy it at a decent price. I don't think I'll get into that, at least not yet. But the person that I did talk to, it took him months to get back to me. Months. But he finally did get back to me. And man, a couple weeks later, once again, due to the weather, I couldn't pull the trigger on it, but there was a little opening in the weather. And it's weird saying that here in California. This is weird, but man, I mean, when I saw it, I'm like, this is it. So why don't you come over here, Junior? I want you to get a good shot of something, and maybe those keen-eyed BMW enthusiasts will capture it, maybe even before I even say it. But for those keen-eyed BMW enthusiasts, this was not originally black. That's right. This was not an original black color. This was Safari Beige, and you'll see that on the tower in a second. But when I had pictures sent to me, I noticed that, and I just didn't really. I saw it, and in the end, I ended up using that as a bargaining chip. There it is, right there, Safari Beige, the 147, and then you can actually kind of see it right there. You can see it right there. You can see it right here on the firewall. But the actual, paint shop or whoever did this paint job actually did a fairly decent job. They really did. They really did. But I confirmed everything once I did my inspection one from the purchaser, or from the seller, I'm sorry. When I noticed that there's a Safari Beige, and then when I popped the trunk liner, but I almost already knew. And another thing with these vehicles is that they're extremely susceptible to rust. Let me show you. The only rust that I've seen is just this fender that was rolled by the previous owner, which is fine. Like, this is no big deal. We're gonna kind of scuff it up, and I have a BMW black, the jet black from my previous 6 Series. But other than that, that's where we stand. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the interior. Okay, so here's a shot of the interior. The owner said it was leather, but I don't think it was leather. The majority of these vehicles did come in all leather. I'm talking about everything, but this was a 633, and I think it was a base model. I'm not really sure, because leather, you can kind of smell it, but I do see wrinkles on here, so I don't know. Honestly, I can't really tell, and I haven't really dug into it. Like I said, I've had this car for only about 3 days, and most of it has been raining. So, but the interior is actually fairly clean, as you can see. Once again, I haven't gone through it with the fine-tooth comb. I haven't. Just enough while I inspected the vehicle where I purchased it, looking for rust. Driving it, we drove it, and the guy was super cool, man. Jeff, you're super cool. God bless you, man. He was a cool guy. And once again, it was a great transaction. Dollar-wise, I won't really get into that since this car is so rare. We'll just leave that at that. We'll talk about that later once we start getting into it. But it's fairly clean. The radio works. It's aftermarket unit. But no, I'm really having a hard time determining if this is leather. But some models did come with everything leather. Like, everything was leather. I know this is vinyl. This is vinyl. This is all vinyl. So what we're trying to do is just get this thing mechanically sorted, get it like perfectly, because it runs pretty good. I've seen a little smoke. It might be burning a little bit of oil. I'm not sure that's going to be valve seals or valve job. He did adjust the valves according to him, but we'll have to just validate that later on, or ourselves. The M30 engine and even the M20 engines, they have that the oil supply line above the cam, and with banjo bolts, and those things seem to back out if you're not careful. So that's a mod that we may do take care of, just to get it running right or safely. Like I said, mechanically it's okay. One of the major things is the rear strut shaft is completely it's shattered. It's actually banging. You won't be able to tell, but those are one of the major issues that is wrong with the car. The shaft, the driver's side window doesn't roll all the way up. The locking system with the key, you actually have to hold the center cylinder to turn it on. It's a lot of little things. We're gonna redo the headliner, and that's what we're kind of determining where we're gonna head with this thing. I like the stance look. I like the air suspension, but man, that thing is pricey. And budget is always a factor in these projects. That's the number one thing. It's not time. It's really money, and then it's time. Because if you have enough money, the time doesn't really matter, right? Because you can have somebody do it for you. But that's not the point here. We're trying to do this a new project and learn together, and just move forward with this thing. So what I'm trying to do is just get this thing mechanically sorted, and we're gonna do definitely wheels. It's already on H&R springs. Trying to determine 18s, 19s, I don't know, 20s, I don't know. Since it's going to be static and no airlift, you know, we need to really dig into our wheel size, our back spacing, our offset, and even the style as well. And I've been having a hard time. But more importantly is really money too, you know. So that's where I'm at. Any suggestions, any feedback, let us know. What are your suggestions for this shark nose, man? This thing is just beautiful. This thing just drives so well, and we're real excited. We're real excited to see where this thing goes. You know, your feedback is greatly appreciated. Thanks to you, all those subscribers that we haven't done videos in a while, because you know we finished our last project and I was looking for another one. We still have subscribers coming in. You know, God bless you. Thank you guys. You guys are super cool. I'll try to answer all the questions that I do come through to the channel. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What the plans are? Some suggestions. I'm thinking just gonna make it real clean, real simple. Shorten those bumpers. Put some nice wheels on it. We'll definitely want to do the headliner in Alcantara or suede. I've already looked into that. And that's it. We'll probably do the dash because it is cracked, but this is it. Hopefully you guys enjoy. And one thing that I like about this thing is just the way the hood opens up. I mean, that's just cool. You can't go wrong with that. So until next time, we'll just keep you guys posted. Once again, if you guys have any feedback, any suggestions for us, we'll take into consideration, and we'll just go from there. Signing off. Thanks guys. See you in the next one.